Hi, it's Richard here. Several months ago I posted a video on YouTube about the technique known as match planing. I used hand tools on that occasion, and today I'm going to do a variation of it by using my Festool tracksaw. Now, just to recap, match planing is where you want to join two pieces of wood together along a common edge here, and you want to end up with a flat surface. Now, if my corner here is not 90 degrees, if I'm off either too much or too little, then the result is going to be either a concave or a convex or an out of plane shelf in this case. So what you want to do with match planing is present the saw down one edge, such as this. And if the saw, let's say the saw blade is cutting this way, when you present it on the other edge, you want to rotate this piece of wood so that the saw is similarly cutting at an angle. Then when you unfold the pieces, the two angles will compensate for each other and you'll end up with a flat surface. So that's the technique that I'm going to demonstrate with my Festool tracksaw. So I'm set up to cut now. I've got my carpenter's triangle, and I'm going to remove the first piece of wood, and this is my face side, so I'll just write face here and here. Now I'll lay my guide rail. I like to leave a little bit more than the thickness of the blade so that any dust is captured. If you leave less than that, the dust is going to fly out. So if you've got enough stock to work with, it's always a good idea to cut a little bit thicker for a trimming cut than the thickness of the blade. Okay, there's the first cut. Now we move this to one side and we take our second cut. There's the triangle, so we rotate this piece. Lay the guide rail again on it. There's the second cut. Let's have a look how we're doing. Now when we put them together, it should be a straight line. This edge is not straight at the bottom, which is why I won't stand up, but hope you can see that that is a good flat plane. Okay, I'm at the next stage now. I've match planed all my shelves. I've done about 18 of them. And I want to make sure when I come to my glue up that it's as easy as possible. And I want to make sure that now that I've taken the trouble to make sure that this surface is flat, the two pieces here are in the same plane, I want to make sure that I don't have any slippage when I come to glue it up and I end up with one side out of plane. The best tool for that is the Festool Domino. By placing a tenon, a floating tenon in between here, it's a bit like a biscuit really, you could use a biscuit joiner, but I've got the Festool Domino. I use the smallest dominoes, they're 20mm dominoes, just because they're quick. I've marked my layout lines. I've got a couple of spaces here just to make sure I don't come into contact with the base. Dominoes on the narrowest setting, and I'm just going to mortise these slots here. Okay, for the first slot, leave it on the narrowest setting. Then switch it to medium. Okay, that's correct. So stage 1 was the match planing with the Festool tracksaw. Stage 2 I used the Domino to give me good vertical alignment between the panels. But what I found in the oak that I'm using here is that Domino bit. Oak is very splintery. That Domino bit can leave these rough edges on the corner of the mortise. I don't know if you can see that one there. It's quite a big sort of splinter. I find that can really affect the quality of the glue up. So it's not a complete power tools video. You've got to come in with block plane or a hand plane. You could use something like one of these, which is what I used in the match planing video. But just to get me through this as fast as possible, I love the Lie Nielsen number 5.5. And you don't want to take too many passes because you don't want to undo the good work that you've done in that match plane. Just a couple, just to clean up that edge. And always try and go with the grain. It's sometimes hard to see with this oak, but I think it's this way. Yep, you can tell straight away whether you're planing with the grain or not. So again, just 1 or 2 passes just to clean up that edge. See here, see how raggedy that is. It's just quicker to use a hand plane than sandpaper, to be honest. So I'll just do a couple, and then I'll go to the final stage of the video, which is the glue up. Okay, we're at the glue up stage now. It's the final stage of making this shelf. I'm videoing it because there's been a bit of discussion recently about the effectiveness of these bow clamps. For me, this is the perfect application. With a pair of bow clamps, 2 parallel clamps, I can make much more use of my small supply of clamps. I can do 3 or 4 clamps at a time. So this is how I do it. I've got everything set up. There are my narrow mortises. These are my wider mortises with 1 narrow one at the end. So, bead of glue all the way along, straight over the mortises, and then come back on the other side. You don't need that much glue. This is just a shelf, long grain to long grain. There. Just want to get a piece of wood to stick under here, stop the squeeze out. Okay, so that's the first one. And then I take a little coffee stirrer here. I just spread the glue around in the mortise a bit. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the narrow one. That's good. Okay. Now, tighten up the clamps a little bit. You can make it easier for yourself by clamping that there. Okay, and you want to snug these up until you've got no gap at the ends there. And you've got glue squeeze out all the way along. Now I've left my rubber mallet at home, so make sure everything is seated. Okay, apologies for that, my camera battery died in the middle, but I've got the panel in the clamp. It's been about 10 minutes, so just about the right time for that glue to have set up a bit and allow me to come in with a scraper and just take away some of the excess. You know, good glue squeeze out all the way along the joint is indicative of a nice glue, a nice result basically. So these are the bow clamps. Got a panel here, got another one on the floor, about another 18 to go, or 16. Thanks for watching. Bye.